Welcome back, guys, to King Josiah TV. Where this channel is here or created to promote, educate, and inform on the kingdom of Jesus Christ as an ambassador in this world. I am your host, Josiah Hill, guys. And before we get started into today's podcast, please do me a giant favor. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right below. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, go ahead and give me that follow button. Let's go ahead and get into this.
Watch giants fall like Goliath. David, I dance. This ain't no TikTok. God told me that my steps was ordered. Walking in flip-flops. Chris Rock, how they laughed at me.
It's gonna be TikTok. Pretty sure a lot of you have heard about this. The Congress has talked about banning TikTok and taking TikTok away. Which, I mean, I've used TikTok and I have a TikTok. You guys see it on my profile. That's where I actually started witnessing, and that's where I started, being open about my faith, was on the TikTok platform, because it's just so easy to grow. And there's been so many other Americans and people that use that platform that have had an income off of there. They're living off of this, making $3,000-$4,000 a month off this platform, guys. And they're talking about taking it away. And they're stating that the reasoning behind wanting to take this away is because they feel like China and these other countries, I believe Russia as well, is taking our personal information and using that in our elections and other things. And it's just mind-boggling to me. And it just seems like there's a more deeper idea and thought process behind this than just taking away TikTok. Because, I mean, there's so many other things. And so, guys, I pulled up an article on this. I was like, man, this is crazy. Because a lot of Americans, like I said, it's minimum, they're going to lose their jobs over this. They're not going to be able to work anymore. They were able to actually separate themselves from the regular 9-to-5 job entrepreneurs and support themselves. And they're trying to take this away. And this is the one platform a lot of people have educated themselves, have been led on to certain things in the community and in the government that we would have never been privy to had people not had a voice. TikTok gives you a place where you can have a voice when no one else listens to you. And that's a platform you can grow on overnight. I mean, I've seen people jump on there, and if they got a big topic like Risa Tisa, her name is, I might have said her name wrong, you guys, but she just gets on there and is talking about her life story and her relationships and stuff, and she just blew up. I mean, she was just on Good Morning America, and this is TikTok. So, I mean, it's just interesting that the most popular and high demand platform they're wanting to take away. So I wanted to read this article that I found, guys, and I was reading on. So I'm gonna pull it up here, guys. It's a reputable source. It's from the New York Times. They posted on it when it initially came out, guys. So I just want to read a little bit on it. And here's the headline. So y'all see that headline there? What to know about the TikTok bill that was passed, guys, and which this bill would face TikTok's, what it reads is the bill which would force TikTok's Chinese parents to sell the popular social media app and faces difficult path in the Senate. So pretty much they're trying to force the owners of TikTok to protect Americans, supposedly, which is against, I believe, our freedom of speech. And they're saying, okay, if this app is not sold, I believe it's like 6 months or so, they have to sell this entity to an American owner, so that in a sense we can have control over it and they can have control over it. Keep getting this pop up on here. So I'm just going to read this first part, guys. It's on the screen there. So the House lawmakers on Wednesday approved legislation meant to force ByteDance, the Chinese internet company, to sell its widely popular social media app, TikTok. The vote was the latest development in the year-long Cold War between the United States and China over who controls viable technology, from computer chips, artificial intelligence. Lawmakers in the White House has expressed concerns that TikTok's Chinese ownership poses as a national security risk because Beijing would use the app to gain access to Americans' data or run disinformation campaign. The bill faces difficult path in the Senate. Senator Chuck Schumer, I might have said that wrong, of New York, the Democrat leader, has not yet committed to bringing it up for a vote. So that's kind of the chunk of the information there, and I was reading a little further here. And this is a little further. They were talking about, it's just some like key facts, guys, because I'm big on being informed on things. I'm big on and knowing your information. Because this stuff like this hits the news and it's like wildfire. It goes and goes and goes. I'm going to get into how this relates to our Christian faith, because there's some things in here that I'm gonna kind of tie in. But just some more further information, guys. When I was reading through this website here, it says what to know. Lawmakers in the White House have expressed concerns that TikTok Chinese ownership poses a national security risk, that the bill faces difficult path in the Senate. Where is the security risk? And I feel like the only security risk that we have here is information getting out and Americans being privy to stuff that we otherwise wouldn't have known. I mean, to me, that's the only security risk. It's not affecting our election. It's not all these, I think they're honestly conspiracy things, guys. The next one, possible sale. Rumors are swirling that Wall Street is about who could be interested in buying TikTok. The large prices for tag for the app is one of many factors that would limit the number of suitors. I mean, the only person I can think that can maybe do this is like Jeff Bezos, like dude that purchased Twitter and turned it into X. Like those type of people. There's only like 3 or 4 people in America that would have the finances or the wherewithal to do this. And even then, even in that conversation, it's like, even the people that made this app, do you really think that they're willing to let that go? I mean, this is the biggest app. I mean, think about it. When TikTok was created, it changed how Instagram functioned. Instagram all of a sudden had Reels. It changed YouTube's long format. They started creating shorts. I mean, everything changed their platform. Even Facebook changed their platform to where it was catered to TikTok and TikTok mimicking, because of how fast TikTok was moving and operating. The next one is Chinese response. China's response. The developers in Washington have not yet triggered a high alert response or retaliation from China's leaders. Instead, officials of Beijing have blasted the bill while largely reiterating common criticisms of the U.S. and popular of China. A call to arms facing possible ban in the United States. TikTok has gambled to deploy perhaps the most powerful weapon. Guys, so that's just some information there on that. But tying that into, faith and in those regards, guys, I mean, I've met a lot of good Christians from TikTok. I mean, a lot of people have got their skepticism and things like that pertaining to it. But I mean, I've seen people become full-fledged evangelists and open their ministries from having this type of a platform, being able to reach these type of people. What the devil means for bad, a lot of things can be meant for good. And even myself, I've linked up with other Christians. There's multiple other Christians that I've created relationships with outside of that platform that even grow my own personal faith and have allowed me to even minister to people that would have never heard my voice had not TikTok been a platform. So I'm going to play this last part here, guys. The actual owners spoke out, and I was like, whoa, this dude.
Some thoughts with our
what he says is wow. I mean, he really kind of nails in the ground some things that we've been hearing. So
show here. Just wanted to share some thoughts with our US users about the disappointing vote in the House of Representatives. There has been a lot of misinformation, and I hope to clarify some things. First, thank you to our incredible community. You are what makes TikTok so special. Thank you for making your voices heard. Over the last few years, we have invested to keep your data safe and our platform free from outside manipulation. We have committed that we will continue to do so. This legislation, if signed into law, will lead to a ban of TikTok in the United States. Even the bill sponsors admit that that's their goal. This bill gives more power to a handful of other social media companies. It will also take billions of dollars out of the pockets of creators and small businesses. It will put more than 300,000 American jobs at risk, and it will take away your TikTok. We know how important TikTok is to all of you. It has given our 170 million users a platform. Everyone, the show here. Just wanted to share some thoughts with our US users about the...
I mean, you just saw right there. I mean, one of the owners of TikTok. I mean, everything that I was just describing and saying Like, man, it's going to take away jobs. It's going to take away businesses and things that have grown themselves on this platform over the span of time that this platform has really just taken off for the last few years. It seems like it's almost like a change of power. Like, they want to have control, and America wants to have control over everything. Anything that America can't have control over and doesn't have the ability to be able to circumvent the information that the American public can have, all of a sudden it's a bad thing, which brings a lot of skepticism. And I think that this platform is great for entrepreneurs. I think it's great for Christians that are trying to spread the faith and trying to grow their ministries and reach more individuals, from people with personal brands and trying to just separate themselves from the 9-to-5 workspace. I think this platform is good for that. And it seems like anything that tries to separate from the norm and America can't control, our American government can't control, they're trying to, we got to get this on wraps. You know what I'm saying?
My salvation on me like it's a helmet. The way you to sin is death, for send you to hell quick. Wanted to be all about me, God, I was selfish. I was